doing some of that correcting work. So we're about an hour into power washing. I think I'm done enough to make. I'm happy with it. A lot better than what it was. Floors are clean. Cup holders, everything's clean. Seat all good and cleaned up. The dash all clean. The windows clean. Bed's clean. That was why I initially started cleaning. It had mud caked in it horribly. Got the underside clean. It's been a while since this thing's been cleaned up. About a year probably. It looks good. I'll use this Bauer pressure washer. I'm actually going to make a video on it for next week's Tool Tuesday, if you say. So if you want to see my opinion on that, wait till next Tuesday. Make sure to watch the channel. We'll have a new video up with that. I guess while we're here, we can kind of do that review on this. So one thing, I bought a Kubota diesel side by side before this one. Can't remember the numbers. I'll post pictures in the middle of this clip so you can take a look at what I had before. Had to end up having a lot of mechanical problems. I think I owned it like 3 days. So as far as cosmetics that I liked about this over the Kubota is the tailgate latch here. The Kubota had a pin on either side, so it took 2 hands to pull those pins out on each side and drop the tailgate. This actually has a little more bed space than the Kubota did. This has sliding back glass. The Kubota didn't have sliding back glass. I like that. This has guards over the taillights. The Kubota, if I remember, had small taillights in the bumper down here. It's kind of dinky little things. And it's kind of like the upgraded wheels on this Gator more than just the old Steelies they come with. This is the gas model 825i. The Kubota was the diesel, which I kind of like that over the gas, but with the issues I was having out of that, it wasn't worth it. So this bed is all plastic, with the exception of these metal rails. Let's dump the bed here. I'll give you a look at the bottom. It is electric dump. The other Kubota was hydraulic. Kind of prefer the electric over the hydraulic. Sounds crazy, but I mean, if the electric goes bad, you just change that cylinder right there. I've actually got a spare. If the hydraulic went bad, then you had pumps on the engine. That could be the issue. Could be leaky rams. It could be a number of things. So electric, in my opinion, is better. I've never had anything in here too heavy that it wouldn't dump, and I've had a lot of stuff in here. So there is a metal tray in the bottom of this bed. Bolts onto the plastic here, and it has steel. It's pretty thin. I'd say 1/8 inch, maybe 1/16 inch steel bracing across the bottom. Of course, it's running a 3-cylinder gas John Deere engine. I haven't done any checking in, but I would almost say that may be a Yanmar. Could be wrong. Could be Mitsubishi or something. Just did a tune-up in this last week, put new plugs in it, oil change. Had video of that, but we lost it somehow on the phone. So I do have doors for this right here. Sliding windows on the doors. They come on off pretty easy. Just open them up, lift off. So we get into the cab. The Kubota had bucket seats, and with us, there's 6 of us, 7 of us when we're doing hay. So I can get 3 people in this front seat if we need to. Like I said, there's them sliding glass. So this one, it has a compartment under the seat. It's hold little things. I got the paperwork in there in a bag, keep it dry. So this spot is kind of what I don't like about the Gator. This don't need to be here. So on the Kubota, the shifter here was up on the dash. The parking brake was over here, which the gas tank's over here. To put gas in this, it's open this, take the lid off, put your gas in. So if you got doors on, the doors come to about right here. It's kind of a pain. You got about that much space to put your gas in. I'm not a fan of that, but it's okay. We'll live with that. Cup holders. Cup holders absolutely suck in these Gators. They're down on the floor, so somebody, 2-3 people's in here, somebody's hitting their legs on them, knocking the cups out. Has this little tray, it's shallow. I don't know what they're trying to hold with that, but it's not holding anything for long. Also, the glove compartment here. The Kubota had a lid on the glove compartment. What does this have? This has half a bottom, if you can see. The bottom's not real deep, and it has, so I like the bar there. You know, the passenger can hold on if they need to or what have you, but I tend to have stuff flying out of the glove box. That's my biggest concern there. So back here we have, you know, you have your turn signals here, which is good. I felt like the Kubota had a switch on the steering wheel like a car. You got your dump up and down, and your key switch. You've got it's hard to do looking through a camera. 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive, horn, lights, headlights, 4 ways. This is my accessory switch for my top light. I'll show you in just a second. And you have a 12-volt cigarette lighter plug, if you will. Turn the dash on. Okay, so to get this not to glare too bad, you got your RPMs up here, temperature gauge. Let's see if we can catch that. Yeah, temperature gauge. We have, I believe that to be hours, mile per hour, gas, and allegedly time, but this thing don't keep time. So let's see. So we got 871 hours. That's what we got. The other is miles. 9,949 miles. Okay. The windshield. Two little locks here on the window. One on the other side. I did just recently learn that this window can easily be removed. So I put a manual windshield wiper in here. This used to have electric, but the electric one quit about 3 days after having it. Not a big deal, but it was a big deal when I looked at the price. The new one was like $400. I wasn't paying that. Sure, I could find a cheaper self-contained unit somewhere else. Dome light. This, I have a light bar across the back in case I'm working overnight. Yeah, I could have did a lot better with this wiring, but it's fine for what it is. Just a little AM FM radio for now. Gary put a marine radio in here. That one kind of just crappy, something crappy I had laying in the toolbox, so we threw it in. There is compartment storage under the hood. You can see right there. Got a grease rag and just some odd ends over there. We'll move around to the front. It does have the light kit, so most of these don't have the turn signal lights there. This one does have the light kit on it. Aftermarket winch, Harbor Freight 5,000 pound ZXR winch. Never had to use it for anything. Not to pull out. I've used it for silly stuff, pulling farm equipment out of the barn and stuff. It is electronic fuel injected. And it's getting to where it's not real happy to start unless you let the fuel pump run for a while. So I think I'm going to have to work on the fuel filter, possibly fuel pump in the future. Air filter is inside the cab. That's okay, but it still gets pretty dirty in that cab to have an air filter inside it. Still haven't figured out what these seatbelt things are for, because the regular seatbelts don't fit, so I'm assuming like a wind gate, a net to go across there. But overall, I'll throw up the pictures. I have the Kubota I was kind of comparing it to. So you can see what I'm talking about when I say Kubota that I had. I bought it for my 28th or 29th birthday, I do believe, the Kubota. I had it for 3 days, rode it everywhere, and it overheated on me. There's a first aid kit I keep in there, but I washed it, so I took it out. We'll put that right back in. There's my little light bar. So I did ride the Kubota for probably 3 days, just pretty steady. Started overheating, I sent it back. And I realized that there was previous problems with overheating on that Kubota that I wasn't told about when I asked when I bought it. So they took it, they called about a week later and said it was fixed. I went and picked it up. Parked it over there by that dumpster. Took it off the trailer, come out the driveway down the road, and I made it about to that telephone pole down there, and the buzzer started going off. It was overheating again. So I let it set, cool off, drove it back to the house, put it back on the trailer, called the Kubota dealer, not going to mention names, and let them know what was going on. They said bring it back. They would take care of it. So I took it back. They had it probably a month. I called and asked what was going on. They said that they've sent the head off to get replaned, and they were going to get it back and see if they could if that would take care of it, or they were going to have to put another motor in it. Stupid me, should have waited. Not really. I got this John Deere, which I'm very, very happy with. Should have waited and let that play out. But I got my money back. I went to John Deere and they had this. It was kind of in the midst of COVID ramping up, and all the UTVs and side-by-sides, everything was selling out. You couldn't find one. I found this one that got traded in that day. They said they haven't even looked at it. They parked it in the back to be checked out, and they were going to look at it. If I wanted to buy it now, I could take it, but they wasn't going to guarantee anything on it. If it broke down when I got it home, it was my baby. So I decided I'd take that chance. I drove it. It drove good. Everything seemed good on it. I've had it for going on 2 years now, and I have not had an issue out of it. Just done regular maintenance, oil filters, oil plugs. Haven't even put a battery in it, air filter. And we do have the one strap for the tailgate broke. Not a big deal. But to say the least, I'm very happy and pleased with this machine. It was a bit pricey, but with side-by-sides and everything where they were, and I needed one then. We were starting in hay, and it's nice to have a side-by-side in the hayfield, something to run back and forth instead of trying to bounce across the field in the pickup truck. So getting in the money side, I think like out the door was right at $16,000, and over time it's going to pay for itself. It's already done pretty good at paying for itself. We haul 10-15 bales of hay in the back of it, square bales. It handles it fine. We've pulled manure spreaders with it. I've pulled cars with it, and we used it to go take the kids down to the creek in the summer. So just kind of a necessity for our applications. If I need to go down to check on the goats and cows or whatever, we can just jump in that and go, especially if it's raining. You're inside the cab. If wintertime, you can throw the doors on. Doesn't have a heater. The Kubota had a heater, but it wasn't hooked up. Kind of a red flag. I should have seen that then. But it is what it is. I'll let this bed back down. As far as I know, there is kits for these beds. You can bolt things onto them, like side rails and whatnot. They do have this tape measure across the back, which is kind of nice. We'll go fishing or something, we have a tape measure to measure our fish. If we cutting firewood, if you think something's just a little bit too long, you can measure it. Suspension, so I've had loads of wood on this all the way up above that cab, and I've had that suspension that's supposed to be sitting down like this, sitting up like this, probably a little bit more than it should have had on it, but it got the job done. One thing I would change, I would get rid of these bars. But I guess safety, but they're a nuisance trying to climb into. Got one over there. Really roomy cab. The Kubota set up higher. Felt like I had a little bit less room in the cab, but it is what it is. I got what I got, and I'm happy with what I got. So if you're looking for a good side-by-side UTV, John Deere Gator 825i, great one, full drive. You know, I think they've improved quite a bit since 2016. That's what year this one is. So I think they've had some big improvements. You can leave questions, comments, or what kind of side-by-side you got down in the comments. We can compare and see what you've got and what you think about what you've got, and if you recommend it. And I mean, I recommend this 825i to anybody. It's just a great little side-by-side, little work truck. But I think that's going to wrap up this video. Probably forgetting something I should have mentioned about this, but kind of get my drift on where I'm at with it. Just have a good day. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. You know, I trying to get on a steady schedule with the videos and keep a schedule. Working full time. You know, I had a little bit of sickness going on, but we're working through all that. Thanks for watching.